So you're thinking about moving from California to Texas, are you? And you think North Texas may be one of the areas you want to go to? Well, uh, I want to try and give you a little bit of insight in some of the changes that you might be coming up against when you come to Texas. I live in Sacramento now, was born and raised in Texas, so I'm kind of familiar with the area. Uh, but yeah, there's a few things that you might find a little different, and you might want to take into consideration before you make the move and sell your house here and move all your stuff to Texas. So let's talk about it here in this video, and we'll get with it here in just a minute. Stay connected. Before we go, let's make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the bell button so you get notified when we put out new videos. We will be putting out videos about once a week that'll be explaining a little bit more about the move from California to Dallas. So make sure you subscribe, make sure you like us. That helps us get more videos out. And make sure you hit the bell button so you know when we put a new one out. And let's go. So you think you're ready to move to Texas, huh? And there's a few things you want to check out. So these are some of the things I want you to consider before you move to Texas. Some things that may affect your move and get you to thinking a little bit. One thing is weather. Uh, Here in California, we have a little bit of rain and stuff like that, but we don't really have the thunderstorms. Texas, you get some hellacious thunderstorms that are going to roll through, especially during springtime. That's also tornado season. You can get some good sized hailstorms too. I can relate to one time that me and the family were all asleep about 2 o'clock in the morning, and all of a sudden our windows started blowing out in our house. Winds were blowing about 40, 50 miles an hour, and we got grapefruit sized hail. Blew every window in the house out. We had to take the kids and the wife and run to the bathroom and hide to get away from the hail. It was scary, quite scary. Tornadoes do happen. They happened quite frequently, as a matter of fact, all over Texas, North Texas particularly. Uh, But usually you don't get what they call a long track tornado. Long track tornadoes is when it comes through and it sits down and just moves for several miles along and destroys everything in its path. That does not happen very often. Uh, that usually tornadoes will come down, they'll touch down, then they'll pick up. They'll touch down, they'll pick up. So they'll hit a house here and it may go over and hit a house a block away. But they don't, they'll skip a dozen houses in between. Those are the typical tornadoes that you get. And the thing is that there's plenty of warning systems uh, set up in Texas because they are so frequent that you get a weather radio. If you're asleep at night, you'll get an alarm going off and the weather radio will start broadcasting warnings that tornadoes are in the area. And then you can take shelter and you can be protected from them. So don't let it scare you too bad. It's just something you need to consider. The other thing is in the summer, it's extremely hot. It's like Sacramento is, but the difference is that they get humidity. So here in Sacramento, it's usually pretty dry heat, but you'll get 104, 105 degrees in Texas with about a 35 to 65% humidity. And when it gets to 65%, you just pretty much melt. Uh, if you're a lady and you love your hairstyles, they just kind of flop down to nothing. The other thing to consider is property taxes. Here in California, we average about a 1.5% a year property tax, and they can't raise it more than 2.5% due to Prop 13 at any year. In Texas, you're averaging about 2.5 to 3% property taxes. You get taxed by the state, you get taxed by the city, you get taxed by the county, and you get taxed by the school district. They all make their money off of property taxes, and they have no upper limit to what they can raise it to. If they want to raise it 10, 20, 30, 40% in a year, they can. They can put special taxes on you for football stadiums, buy the Dallas Cowboys new football stadium, things like that. And yeah, you just kind of stuck with it. So you want to consider carefully whatever area you want to move into. Kind of do a little background investigation of how they're handling their tax situation at the time, and if they're flush with money or if they're wanting to get a bunch of money and they need to start raising taxes. You'll want to be concerned about that. Home insurance. Your home insurance is going to be double, at least, what it is here in the main city of Sacramento or Roseville area, type of thing like that. If you have in Grass Valley, maybe not, but because of the before mentioned tornadoes and hail, and things like that that happen, the spring storms that come through, your home insurance is quite a bit more. So be prepared to pay more on home insurance. The other thing is, and this may bother you, may not bother you, but think about it, is guns. You're subject to walk into a store at any time, or Walmart, Target, whatever, and walk around and run across somebody with a gun strapped to their hip. You might even walk around with somebody with an AR-15 around their shoulder. Uh, Texas is an open carry state, so anybody that wants to carry a gun can strap one on their hip and carry it. Uh, as of this last year, they don't even have to have a permit to do it. Anybody that wants a gun can get one. So if you move to Texas, you want to carry a gun, buy yourself a holster and put your gun in it and start walking around. You can. Uh, now, that's the bad news. Good news, uh, there is no income tax. That's why all the taxes are levied on your property. So you're not paying any income tax on any of the money you got coming in for your retirement or your job, whatever you're doing. There's no income tax on it. So you get to keep more of your money. Gas prices, definitely a lot lower. Uh, One of the reasons is they don't collect as much in taxes for highway maintenance and stuff like that. And one of the reasons is that, and something you're going to run into that might shock you a little bit, is there's a lot of toll roads in Texas. And by that, I mean there are roads, for instance, there's a highway that runs between Dallas and Fort Worth through what's called the Mid-Cities area. And I'll do a map video here on the channel in the next few days that'll kind of give you a map of what the Dallas-Fort Worth area looks like and what's called the mid-cities and all that good stuff, and explain all this to you. But there's a Highway 183 that runs through the city and runs through between the cities. 183 has the first two lanes in the left are toll roads, and they're variable toll roads. The left three lanes are freeways, so you can drive those and it doesn't cost you anything. But if you get in the toll road, it depends, the toll depends on the time of day and how much traffic there is. At late at night, you might get in and go all the way for $1. During the day at 5 o'clock, they may charge you $10 to go 5 miles. So uh, let the poor people drive in the three outer lanes. Let the people that can afford it drive in the first two left lanes and go a little faster. There's also a road between Austin and San Antonio. That's a toll road that has a 90-mile-an-hour speed limit on it. Public highways are limited to 65 or 70, but the toll road can go 90. Yeah. Again, a lot of these roads are owned by private corporations, and that's one of the ways Texas keeps its costs down. Is they build high efficient, quick roads owned by private corporations. Private corporations do the toll roads, and that's how they make the money. So yeah, that's something you might want to get used to, and something that might shock you. Let's talk about home prices a little bit. Whereas you buy an average 3-bedroom, 1,500 to 2,000 square foot house here in Sacramento, it costs you $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 depending on the area of town you're in. In Texas, you can get the same thing for about $300,000 to $350,000. If you want to spend 500,000 upwards, you can get you a 5,000 to 6,000 square foot mansion on an acre or so. So yeah, your housing is prices for houses are quite a bit cheaper than they are here, so your house payments are going to be lower. And you can get some really nice houses in the $300,000 range in some good areas. Uh, so yeah, that's something to consider also. I was born and raised in Texas. Lived there for 43 years, and now I've been here in Sacramento for 5 years. Uh, Taking a few detours in between to Australia and stuff like that. But yeah, I know Dallas Fort Worth quite well. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask them. To put them in the comments below, or get in touch with me, and I'll be glad to give you a personal consultation about it. If you're ready to go and you've decided, you had enough of California, you want out now, hey, contact me. First step is let's get a valuation on your house, see what we can get for it here. I'll get you in contact with my partners and stuff in Dallas, and we will get you a seamless transfer from here to there. We'll sell your house here, make it for us, get you as much money as we can here, and we'll get you a fine house there in an area you're interested in. Occasionally, I do trips back to Texas in the Dallas-Fort Worth area because I have family there, so I do go visit them. And if you're seriously considering trying to make a move and you want to investigate a little bit more, if you can arrange a trip at the same time I'm there, I'll be glad to play tour guide for a day and take you around and show you the city, uh, and give you an idea of how things are laid out, and show you some houses and some areas that you might want to live in or consider. So yeah, get in touch with me. Name is Monte Roberts. I'm with eXp Realty here in Sacramento, California, and my number is 916-426-9044, or drop it at comments in the comment section below, and I'll see it. We'll discuss, and we'll see what we can do. And you guys make sure you subscribe, because I'm going to be doing quite a few videos to help explain the differences and what to expect when you move into Texas and North Texas area. So give me a like.